we go.
That's smooth. Yeah.
Sup, everybody? Sup, Rebekah and Carrie and Isabel.
Sup, everyone? It's that time again. It's another Tuesday night. I just love Tuesdays.
Yes, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right? Just in general, because everywhere it's different depending on your time zone. But yeah, such an awesome time to spend with you guys. And Rebekah, I just want to acknowledge something. I want to acknowledge the fact that Rebekah, our superstar, is not only here with us tonight, but she's also popping onto a consulting course going on right now. So that's how much she loves us. She's taking time to come over here and do this before she pops back over. So I just want to acknowledge that, Rebekah.
Yeah, so we're actually doing a certification course, a consultant certification course that started at 6 p.m. Eastern today and goes to 10 p.m. Eastern. And we really threw that out there for our friends in different parts of the world. But we have lots of folks in the States as well who have signed up for the course. So a lot of sleepy folks who might, and you know what? Our friend Emma, it's like 10 p.m. her time in Wales, I think. And I don't know. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. But it's some ungodly hour to be starting a course. So God bless you, Emma, if you're out there. And she's a friend of SUP as well. So, and I noticed a gal on the course who had the same last name as yours.
Yeah. Believe it or not, my wife has decided to drink the Kool-Aid as well, and she's jumped on that consultant certification with all you guys. So very, very proud moment for me, obviously, as a fellow PAC cert.
Man, it's a busy night in your house. Lots of Zooming happening right now.
There's a lot of Zooming. And speaking of that acknowledgement piece, I wanted to bring up this really cool thing before we get into our first segment. And it's that in the moment cards, it's on the PAC store, and it's so.
I just got those.
Oh, so Rebekah just got hers. And so I'm curious, Rebekah, right now, what do you feel like, Rebekah and Carrie, what are you guys feeling like right now? Are you needing something on the acknowledgement side? Are you needing something on the encouragement side? Or maybe feeling like you want to do some growing? Which one would really fit the moment here for you guys right now?
Well, I'm beating myself up a little bit for forgetting, because I'm not in my normal environment. So I'm in Pittsburgh with my grandma-in-law, and I did not bring my encouragement cards. So can you give us a little encouragement, Carrie? Does that sound good to you? All right.
Yeah, so pulling from the encouragement cards, all that you do is worthy of appreciation, even if you don't hear someone say it. I mean, how encouraging is that? How often do we need to hear that in these moments, in the moment when we might be having a hard time, or if somebody else is? So that's really powerful. What do you guys think?
I think that's super helpful to remember that everybody's busy, and you sometimes forget to stop and say, thank you. Thanks so much for helping us out. Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, so that thank you piece and how important that is.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking, we thank Carrie every week, and we thank her off screen and on screen. But man, this show, this straight up positive thing that we try to do each week to highlight our certified community would not be the same without Carrie. So thank you, Carrie. Show some love in the comments below to Carrie. And it also is kind of a theme that, that PAC is doing, because in our monthly newsletter, actually, we started a gratitude board and thankfulness. And so I'm thankful for you guys.
Oh, me too.
We're thankful for all of our viewers out there too. So remember to subscribe and like. And that plug in.
That's why we love you, Carrie. Thank you.
Speaking of subscribing and liking things, our first guest tonight actually is getting out there in the world of social media and doing a lot of things, looking for these pieces of, hey, like, subscribe, check out what I'm doing. So I want to welcome to the show tonight, Isabel. Isabel, welcome to SUP.
Welcome to SUP, Isabel.
SUP, thank you. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you. And it's interesting how sometimes everything that we talk about in the very beginning, how we can work that in so well to segue into whoever we're introducing. And Rebekah is so awesome with that. I mean, her segues trump mine big time. So make sure you throw some super likes in there for Rebekah and her skills. But Isabel, okay, so let's get back. So I know I mentioned something about you getting involved with social media and doing some things there, but let's back up a little bit. Let's go to who you are. We'd love to know more about who Isabel is before we start looking at all of the awesome things you've done. So tell us about yourself.
So basics, I'm a mom. I have 2 teenagers, and my mom moved in with us, and I live in Texas. And I started my own business with dementia training and consulting, which I'm PAC certified in. I've worked with seniors since about 2013. I fell into it out of necessity, and I didn't expect to fall in love with working with seniors. And I just continued on that path in different capacities to the point that I started my own business to help spread the word of the positive approach to care out there.
Yeah, that is so cool. And how many times do we see that where in our lives things just kind of unfold in a way that lead us to something that we might not have even known was what we really wanted to do till we got into it. And then, oh my gosh, this is where I wanted to be. Where has this been all my life? So
Absolutely.
yeah. So looking at that, you kind of gave us a little bit of like the 30,000 foot view, right, of how your career's unfolded. But let's go to that piece, that initial piece of what got you started going into this world of working with folks in the aging population and got you to that point of this is where I wanted to be.
Sure. Well, I started out with in a congregate meal program for a nonprofit organization. I was outsourced by Parks and Recreation at the city of Arlington, or I should say the nonprofit was. And I worked there, and that's the first time I worked with seniors. I not only did the meal program, I interacted a lot and played games, and I just got along really well with the staff there. Later, I moved on to Parks and Recreation myself, and for 3 years I was the senior activities coordinator in Pinecrest, Florida. And there, I mean, in both cases, I would say I worked with a lot of sapphires and diamonds. So I really didn't hit into working with those living with dementia quite yet. I moved back to Texas, and I was an engagement director for a facility that had independent living, assisted living, and memory care. So this was my real immersion into working with memory care. And incidentally, they taught TIPA's gems and the positive approach and hand under hand. So that's where I got the first taste of it, and I really liked it. But what I loved about it was that when I actually put into practice these things that I learned, I had a different relationship with the residents there than some of the other staff because of it. And I loved it. I saw her speaking in Texarkana, and I drove with one of my employees there to watch Tifa speak. And then I, here I am 2 certifications later.
So it's that peripheral, oh, I don't even know if I can say that, unfortunately, but it's that hook, right? Essentially, everybody mentions that I got a taste of PAC, I saw TIPA, and I was hooked. And it just grew from there, and you got your certifications, and you were noticing some challenges where you were working at the time. So tell us about what was happening there. What started to get you thinking, I think there's something different that I should be doing.
Yeah, it was more like, I want to do more. What I noticed was we did learn TIPA's PAC skills in orientation, and that was about it. So I felt like there was no real follow-up with the staff. Now, my department engagement, I made sure that my engagement, or which is just a fancy word for activities, coordinators were practicing PAC skills. However, I saw with the CNAs and other caregivers, that wasn't happening on their end. Dining staff, that wasn't happening on their end. Sometimes I even got some just negative feedback if I was interacting with a resident to do an activity, just one-on-one, a Ruby, and the caregiving staff would be like, oh, don't bother, they're not going to be able to do that. And that would not be the case. Like, whatever the activity was, I had that resident engaging in it. And so that was frustrating, and that really made me want to learn more, do more, bring awareness of PAC, because it works. It's just that it's just difficult to get that mentality, old school mentality. Some people have been in this industry for a really long time, so they're like, don't tell me how to do my job, I've been doing this for a long time. So yeah, so those experiences kind of push me more to like want to just get more educated on PAC and help spread the word on it.
Yeah, so noticing how that follow through of, okay, yeah, you gave them some training in the beginning, but if you don't do more, if you don't keep doing something, it's going to fall flat.
Right, and that's tough because it starts with the leadership. It starts from the corporate level down to not just be like, oh, look, we're doing PAC skills. And it sounds really good. And, if they talk about it with families who are putting their family member in the community, it sounds really good. But are they really following through with it in the day-to-day? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And how important it is to get some of those folks on top to see the value and give the support and support it to the point where at least it's expanding more than just that orientation piece for new hires, or right, maybe like once a year they get an hour and that's about it. So yeah, so you were noticing these challenges, you were seeing some things happening here that just wasn't working, and you had all of the skill and awareness and you wanted to do more with it. You're like, come on, I know I can do more. So what did that lead you to? What did that break you out to with starting your company and getting that going?
I actually left that job and was working for a home care staffing for a while, which also didn't end up working out because I attended one of TIPA's certifications, my first one, the consultant one, and they didn't want to give me the time off to do it, and I was very insistent about it, and I actually ended up losing my job over it. But it's for the best. I don't guess they did not see the value in it. And I decided, well, I'm going to start my own business. So I went on that route, but I did kind of start my business at not the best time because it was January 2020. So it started out okay, and I was getting out in the community and going to events and going and networking and really getting to know my fellow healthcare industry workers. in my community, then of course the pandemic happened and everything kind of came to a screeching halt, but it's coming back around and coming back up, and people are getting out there again, not just online. And also, actually, right before the pandemic, in February 2020, I got my second certification. So it was probably the last live certification course in Houston that I went to.
And so you were able to squeak in there just before they finally had to make the change over to virtual. And
yeah, it was like little talk going around about this virus, and people were like, what? And when we got back, like maybe a month or not even a month later, everything came to a halt.
Yeah, a screeching halt, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so you were talking about some of those challenges of, and you just started your business, you were getting out there, you were networking. And you had mentioned when we talked about how like that would be a huge recommendation you would give to anybody, is you got to get out there, you got to mingle, go do some free events, do something that you can talk with folks. And then
absolutely,
then that all stopped.
Yeah.
And so you started to get creative though. You started thinking of, oh, there are some ways that I could get noticed, and ways that I could really start bringing people to look at what I'm trying to do here. So what were some of the things that you came up with to do that?
So it took a little while because, like I said, I'm a mom, had kids at home, to rev things up again. But then I turned to social media since I couldn't get out and be with people and talk to people. There's a lot of PAC out there on Instagram and on Facebook and YouTube, but there's really nothing out there on TikTok. So I thought, let me try my hand at TikTok. You get these 1 minute little short snippets to do what you can, or say what you want to say, or show what you want to show, and just put it out there and see what happens. I don't see it as, because there's nothing PAC or not a whole lot about dementia on there, I actually see it as an opportunity. I'm bringing it to the platform.
Yeah, that is so cool. So noticing where there's a need and a place that could definitely bring attention. And so then you brought that in there into that world of TikTok. And so what has happened since then? What has been some of the results of you doing these TikTok videos?
Well, I will say that I'm getting attention, but it is slow to, you're competing with what's trending. You're competing with, what the youth likes. But surprisingly, there's a lot of baby boomer and Gen Xers on there. So you do have an audience. It's just getting on the FYP or the For You page, which means when you're on TikTok and you're like there just scrolling through it, that you pop up there and somebody notices you and they start following you. So it's been fun. I have had a couple videos. I'm trying to be creative and either start trends or go with some existing trends, but I always want it to relate to, the foundation of this, which is the positive approach to care, dementia care. But I've tried doing like dementia music challenge is what I called it, because they have music challenges on there like of decades, of the 80s or whatever. So I just put more so baby boomer songs, like You Are My Sunshine, and How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, or patriotic music. And I had a couple videos duet, which means they have a video next to my video that has the music, and it was a lady living with dementia, and it was really sweet, and she is not verbal right now, but she swayed and she danced, and when I did the national anthem and she put her hand on her heart, and I thought that was really sweet. And one video that got a lot of attention that I was not expecting was, I did like a quiz, like a 5-question quiz, but I was really short with it and kind of condescending with my answers. Like, how can you not know that? Didn't you learn that in elementary school? And And I got like 40,000 views of that video. And then I followed it up with a video tying it into dementia care. And what I asked in that second video was, who am I? What's my name? Come on, you know my name. So that's how I tied it into that other video. So the feelings that the people were getting from my first video, which is what I love, that it brought on a lot of emotion. That's what I wanted them to feel. So when they saw the next video, they're like, oh, you know, they kind of make that connection, like, oh, we're doing that. So yeah, so that was an exciting video, because that's my video that's gotten the most views.
That is so cool. So 40,000 folks interacting with that, and noticing that power of experience and how that can be used to connect.
Mm-hmm.
And how that is such a huge piece for folks, right? It's that moment when they connected to an experience they've had that they're like, oh, shoot.
They were like, this isn't very nice. This doesn't feel very good. Like, why are you talking to me like that? And then when they watch the second video, they're like,
oh, you brought it all around, right? That's awesome. So, and not only that, but I noticed one of the videos you did was in a different language.
I speak Spanish. So yes, so I speak Spanish. So like moving forward with my business, and my trainer mentor is Alejandro. I hope to bring in like everything in Spanish as well. Once I'm like, you know, comfortable divulging all the information in English, because even though I'm a native Spanish speaker, I don't use all these words on a daily basis that you would use for the PAC training. So I would kind of have to learn some Spanish words in the process, but it's definitely a thing that I am planning on incorporating.
Yeah, and that's so cool. And just like you're bringing up Alejandro, he was on here with Abby Snow not too long ago, and they were talking about how PAC is really starting to get in that direction, multilingual, and starting with Spanish. And there's quite a few things that for the certified community, in the certified community webpage, there's actually translated pieces in there of PPA and different things like that for you to be able to utilize. And so how cool that is, you know, because PAC isn't just English speaking folks. I mean, it's spreading all over the world. Yes. And you got to evolve, right? You have to change with that. So that is so cool that you're bringing that component in there, and using that.
Actually, I take my TikTok videos and I put them on Instagram, on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my LinkedIn, on everything. And I believe it was my Instagram that I had a certified PAC, not sure if she was a trainer, but she was certified in PAC from Malaysia, reach out to me. So definitely is spreading out all over the world.
Yeah, we talk about connections so much, right? And this is like international connections happening. So that is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at your experiences before PAC, and then once you started rolling with PAC, what's probably one of the biggest changes you've noticed when it comes to how you were able to help folks who were living with brain change versus after the PAC, that big part and I know we can like come up with many, but maybe like one big one that you were like, wow, this made a big difference for me.
Let me think. I mean, I just think what made a big difference for me is seeing the response of people, whether they are the people living with dementia, that your interaction with them has changed. And it is because you're using these PAC skills that it has changed, that they're, you know, you're able to work with their skills that they have when everyone around is in doubt or have never been able to do it because they don't have these skills. And also those, for instance, taking my course, coming to the real, the aha, coming to this realization of brain change and what it does, even if it is not with someone living with dementia, just normal aging. I've had some people come out with this aha, like this newfound compassion, like that's why, like, let me not rush them when they're thinking. Or so I don't know, I just like that. I love the aha moments that I experienced being a learner with PAC. The aha moments I had with my consultation, seminars or workshops, and then being able to deliver that to people and seeing their aha moments. I love it. I love that part of it.
Hits you in the feels, doesn't it?
It does.
And what's so cool, and we brought this up recently, just about there's a commercial out there, and I believe it's a Louisiana hot sauce commercial, and their catchy saying is, you can put this stuff on anything, right? And so we jokingly will say that within the PAC world, you can use this with anybody, anything. And now you were pointing out that part of, you had folks who were just doing the normal aging, and that, I think that was your first workshop, right? You did it with folks who just normal aging, and they were all like, oh my gosh, they were totally making those connections.
They were.
You really can truly use this with anything. I mean, it is. It works.
You can.
Yeah, and
I even tried it with my kids.
yes, yeah.
Although with my kids, there's that personal factor that I might have to be like, okay, time out. Give me a few minutes to regroup, and we'll come back to that conversation. But it does.
Yeah, and noticing, and Teepa brings this up a lot on her Sunday Teepa for Tens, that even our kids, right, who are going, their brains are developing, they can change gem state wise. They can almost kind of be in a particular gem state with where their skills are. Yeah. And that kind of reminds me of something. And so I'm curious if Rebekah can join us, because there was something that we were going to discuss, and I think it has to do with how gem states, what they are, and how we can almost kind of be that different gem states ourselves.
Yeah, did you know, Matthew, that all gems can shine? Doesn't that sound so positive? So what do you think that might be, Matthew? And you may already know this. Have you seen that logo anywhere lately?
I might have seen it floating around social media and some signatures on emails.
Yeah, so All Gems Can Shine is actually the theme, the title of PAC's 2021 annual conference. And so I've brought my friends Mary and Shelly on to help talk about our conference, because guess what? PAC family, listen close. Tickets go on sale Monday. Yay! Now, we're going to talk about a little bit about conference, but I wanted to start by asking you guys this. So we said all gems can shine. So here we go, talking in PAClish again. So the gem state model is this model that Teepa came up with. So if you are not familiar with the gem state model, please go to teepasnow.com and look it up. But what we're looking at is this idea of thanks, Mary, for that visual, the workbook too. And I have a little handy dandy resource card. But it's this model that Teepa established looking at changes in the brain over time. And I'm curious, oh goodness, you guys are so on it. We've got the GEMS app, we've got the workbook. I mean, goodness gracious. Yes. Okay, Carrie. Oh, Shelly, stop it. All right, so let me ask you guys, because you were just saying this idea that it's not just about someone living with dementia. I mean, this model was set up to be a way to look at progression that's different than some of the other more traditional cognitive scales that we see out there. But what's really cool about this model is it's just about brain change that can happen in any of us. So I'm curious, gang, have you found yourself venturing out of the sapphire place anytime today?
Oh,
I went a little diamond at one point. Anybody else?
I actually went into like an amber or ruby state because I was trying to put together a process document on a completely new process for me. So I had to really I was just having a hard
So
time.
let me ask you this, Mary. So so you said maybe amber. So I'm wondering something about amber, caught in a moment of time, more curious than cautious, focused on sensory needs, lived in the moment, copies actions, not tasks. Any of those can confuse objects? Is it any of those that made you feel like, ooh, maybe I had gotten out of that sapphire place and I had gone to forest
Yes,
amber?
caught in a moment of time, definitely just really focused, but not functioning at full capacity.
Yeah, so not really functioning at that place where is more normal for you. And so you were able to do that kind of, okay, time out. Whoa, here I'm in a different place. And so recognizing that gem state change in yourself, wondering about the rest of you. Anyone else find yourself outside of Sapphire today?
Matthew, I see that nod. What were you?
Yeah, so I was on a private cert today and I was doing a little Zoom lead introduction. And yeah, I forgot to hit the record button while I was in the middle of introducing. And I totally got caught in the moment myself and was so fixated on getting to the record button and hitting it that I switched the views on the learner. So they were seeing the presenter view of the PowerPoint I was using instead of the actual PowerPoint. And luckily it worked out and everybody was sapphire enough. They stayed flexible. They just rolled with it while I finished it. But I was so caught in the moment of getting that record going, I totally missed that I switched those views and that's what they were seeing.
So I'm hearing a little bit of on the go with purpose. That's a little emerald there. Seeks independence, but you missed some details and it was a little bit flawed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. We've all been there, that's for sure. Carrie, Shelly, or Isabel, anything that you might have noticed yourself outside of Sapphire today?
I was fortunate enough to get a massage today.
Hey.
So I was very focused on sensory. And of course, when you're face down for 90 minutes and you get up and you can't see, you can't remember quite where you are, and you're looking for the guy with water. A little bit. It was pleasurable.
Hey.
It was nice to be away.
So to be in that really caught in the moment, in that moment of time, and really focused on the senses, that was actually a positive for you. Not necessarily a bad thing. It was a positive.
Yeah.
And well done. Way to do some self-care, Carrie. Nice job.
Do it.
So why am I asking this? What am I highlighting here about our gem state?
I think the whole idea that we are all different gems ourselves, as well as the people with dementia, which means people living with dementia are just like us, right? And so we need to come to that realization about that. And I kind of think that's what we want to talk about at the conference.
Exactly. You got it, Shelly. So this conference is going to talk about how all gems can shine, and that regardless of what state we find ourselves from moment to moment, that there is a lot to focus on that remains. And that's what makes PAC so different. It's about what remains and not what is lost. Right. So Shelly has pulled up our handy dandy, thank you, Shelly, our conference page that highlights just a little overview of conference. And again, on Monday, you can actually sign up. Now, Shelly, I'm going to ask you a real personal question, and just because I'm a little bit of a devil's advocate, okay? So let me ask you this. I think I noticed that the conference was in November, right? November?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so it's March right now. So why would someone want to sign up now?
Well, we always do early bird things. You get something if you join early. So we're going to give you a choice. You can get some cost savings. You can buy the GEMS workbook or the new relationship book for half price when you buy your ticket now. And the other thing we're doing different this year is the giveaways, the things that, you use the tchotchkes and stuff. We're going to send those to you as soon as you buy your ticket. So you'll get them within a week or two from when you sign up.
And you're going to start seeing some fun that we're going to have with body art. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So the giveaways, I wanted to pull them up so I don't forget all of them. Where you guys are going to get a PAC mask to use, and you're also going to get some pens. But the body art, tattoos. Last year we had this wonderful singer. I hope any of you who came last year saw Jay Allen, and Jay he likes tattoos. He has lots of tattoos. So one of the things we want to do at the conference this year is we've created a peacock tattoo that we'd like people to use at the conference to wear their peacock tattoo during Jay's concert on Monday night. So another reason to get it early.
Absolutely. And so this tattoo, we're probably going to be doing a little bit of lead up to that too. So we're going to be maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
People take pictures.
Yeah.
How they're using their tattoo, what they're doing with that tattoo. Oh, and the other thing that you guys are getting are window decals that you can put on your car window or some other place. So we're looking for you to join with us and share with us how you're using the stuff that you're getting from us early and getting
I'm pretty
excited.
selective about what goes on my car, but I would say a PAC sticker or a PAC window decal, I would definitely do that because that's something that I know isn't going to change because I'm PAC. I bought it. I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm all in, like we keep saying. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker. So one of the things that was so different last year, and you guys, Mary and Shelly, really spearheaded with Tipa and Amanda conference last year. And I'm helping with that this year. God bless you guys. I'm sorry. Hopefully helping more than hurting. But one of the things that I admired last year about conference, one thing that was different than any conference I've ever gone to, is that 10% of the folks who were participating in conference, there was something unique about them. Tell our viewers about what was unique about 10% of our conference participants.
There were people actually
living with dementia.
Mm-hmm. And
they had 80 people attend.
Yep. So they attend the conference for free because we feel like, they are our core team. They are why we exist. And so we want them to have the opportunity to have it, to talk, to have some kind of place to be heard and also to participate and learn themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So over 80 folks who were living with brain change participated in the conference, either as an attendee or co-presenter. I know I had a wonderful lady, Anne, who presented with me talking about frontotemporal dementia, and it really made it such a deeper, richer conference because of what she was able to bring versus what I could just talk about.
Right, and we're going to do that again this year. So every speaker will have a co-speaker who is someone living with brain change of some form. We're still working on that, but they will be involved in some way.
Yes, that is so awesome. And so PAC really, again, this is our core team, folks who are living with brain change. That's what we call at PAC, our core team. And so we want anyone who's living with brain change to feel free to come to the conference and share their voice or learn about PAC or whatever their goal is in coming to the conference. We don't ever want price to be a barrier. So PAC is actually bearing the cost of the conference registration fee for anyone who's living with brain change. So when you go to register for the conference, you're actually going to see a couple of different tickets or 3 different tickets. You're going to see I'm living with brain change, or a traditional ticket, or a ticket with continuing education, which we will be applying for continuing education credits. So we've chosen as an organization, and our great leader has chosen to make this free for anyone living with dementia. However, if anyone out there, our certified community, our PAC family, want to help share that cost with us, we would love to have, you can actually just sponsor someone living with dementia to come to the conference. And so, Mary, will you tell us a little bit about, or maybe if someone has an organization and they want to get more involved with our conference, how can they do that?
Sure, Rebekah. One of the sayings I love that TIPA does when she refers to gyms is, when given the right support and environment, they shine. So that's what we're really trying to do with our sponsors this year. So we're offering multiple levels following the gyms. So we have 6 different levels ranging from $250 to $8,000. And then we're still looking for our, I call it our PAC Daddy sponsor, which is our gym circle. And an organization or a very generous individual, because it is at a $15,000 level. But each level contains different benefits. And just for $250, that provides someone living with dementia to attend for free. So that individual would be supporting, and I have some family members who have already shown interest in doing that themselves, because we have a lot of family members. And I must say, you know, in this virtual world is not the way we like to normally operate at PAC. But because our conference was virtual last year and will be virtual again this year, it did allow people living with dementia and other family care partners to attend. So we saw a big increase in that. There's a lot of different benefits related to each level, anything from helping someone attend for free to recognition on our website, a free champion course for up to 20 people, a 2-hour webinar with TIPA, articles in the online dementia journal from October to December. TIPA is doing customized videos at certain sponsorship levels that those sponsors can share in social media, get the word out. And of course, free tickets are being offered as well. So I hope we have a little bit for everyone, whoever's interested. Just reach out to pacconference.com email-wise, or myself.
It's actually pacconference@tipasnow.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely
Okay.
right. Email is
We haven't gotten that big yet.
There you go. There was your emerald moment, Mary. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just a little detail. But yeah, if you want to know more, please email us at pacconference@tipasnow.com, and we can get you more information on either sponsorship or how to support someone's free registration who is living with brain change. So
Absolutely.
Please start thinking about conference, because man, we had over 700 folks at last year's conference, and I can't imagine one person that I've talked to who says, oh, that was not worth my time. I mean, it just is. And also I want to say one thing, that people that I've been talking to and talking about being virtual, I've had so many folks say, I'm glad you're doing it virtually this year, because I just don't know by November if I'll be ready to make a trip like that. And so this was a hard decision that we had to make, but it's really what we feel like is in the best interest of our PAC family. So please join us virtually. And Shelly, you had something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, who maybe didn't get to come to last year's conference, you still have an opportunity to watch it, because everything that was, every session was recorded, and we made online group learning products for them. So you can get the whole conference for $125, which is over 28 hours of or more, or of 27 sessions. I don't remember even how many hours that was. Or you can get subsets for about $50. So just letting you know that that's out there.
Awesome. Thanks for that additional information, Shelly. So we'll be talking about conference. I am super excited to be a part of that. So you will hear it on Tuesday nights here on SUP.
Very excited too.
Nice. So thanks for your time, friends. And Matthew, you're going to do a little segment here because, oh, goodness, I'm always asking you, like, where do I find this resource and where do I, and so you're going to give us a little bit of a tutorial tonight on where to find things on the website, right? Is that what you're going to do? Please, I need your help.
So you need some help.
I'm needing some help.
You're needing some help. And yeah. So this piece of finding resources and the certified community, we see that ask as well on social media. We see it in comments and emails. And what's so awesome is that there's an actual certified community page that when you are certified, you're able to go to and you're able to look and find a lot of these resources. It's like a one-stop shop for whatever you may need or things that you might not be able to directly find. And so I would love to show you guys this. So you can go on to the website itself, and you have to sign in, because if you don't sign in, unfortunately, it's going to tell you that it's insufficient access and you can't get any farther. So definitely sign in first. But once you do that, this blue member menu is going to come up here. And a lot of you guys in the certified community know about this, because this is where you got to go to find your resources for your trainer certification or consultant or coach. But at the very top, you should see this PAC Certified Community homepage. And that's where you can click on and you can actually go and find a lot of these extra resources, or a link to SUP, or the part where we were talking about and that Alejandro had mentioned with the different translations of the PAC resources that we do have at this time. The marketing toolbox, which that reminds me, recently we had a certified community webinar that Alejandro led to give us an idea of how we can use some of those marketing tools that are in that toolbox on this page. And so this is also a place you can actually go and check out, or you can look under the blog itself. So the PAC Certified Community blog, and you can find all of those webinars that we've done, those free certified community webinars on here, and be able to watch those and get those resources that came through in that particular webinar. So it's such a great resource. And like I was saying before, with all of these questions that we will get sometimes about, where can I find this? Where can I find that? This is a great place for you guys to go and get a lot of those resources, or just explore when it comes to other things that are available to you. And even on the side of, we see a lot of those asks of, I'm looking for certified folks in this area. So you can actually go and you can check that out in our regional map. So I have a huge ask for you guys. Looking at all of this, we're actually working on making some changes, making some tweaks. So we would love to hear from you all, maybe in the comment section, or email us some suggestions you might have. Once you get in here and you start looking through all of this, some suggestions you may have of what we could try different, or what would you like to see? Because there are a lot of options here. There's all sorts of stuff you can choose from, but we would love to hear from you guys when it comes to things that we could do to make it a little bit better, to keep that change going, to meet your needs. So please let us know if there's anything on there that we could do differently for you all. And of course, the one thing that we always highlight, or try to at least at the end of every PAC or SUP episode, is that calendar. So speaking of those certified folks, one thing on that you can find on that certified calendar or certified homepage is the open door on Fridays link, or the first Thursday of every month. It's the same link, but that's where you can find that event wise. and some of the other things like the certified community webinar, you can get a quick link to that. But this is also another place you can go to find what's happening in PAC. So for you non-certified folks out there who are looking, who are maybe interested now in, ooh, I want to get certified, or I want to look and see what my options are. Here's a place that you can go and you can find when those certifications are coming, like the consultant one that we talked about that's going on right now as we speak. But also the future certifications, the champion days. If you're still curious about what PAC can offer and the things that PAC can do for you, that champion day is a perfect place to go and get those little bites, get those little pieces of exposure that can help you kind of get that feeling of what PAC can offer and what some of the things that you can do with PAC awareness and skill. So definitely would love to have you guys come on here, check this out, Certified Community. A great place for you to go find those resources, a quick stop, one stop shop, right, as they say. But then also finding those calendar events to be able to register and be able to get those needs met of, ooh, I'm game. I want to do this. I want to try something. Where do I go to find that? So that's where you can locate all of those things on the website and be able to get those resources.
Thank you. I appreciate your patience and your awesome tutorial and guidance on where to find those things. That's awesome. Speaking of, you mentioned again that there is a course going on tonight. And I gotta run back to it. Thank you everyone for being on tonight. Thank you, Isabel, for sharing your shine on SUP. Thank you, Mary and Shelly, for the awesome job you do every year on our annual conference. Carrie, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Rebekah.
Matthew, go support your wife as she's on the course. Maybe she needs a new cup of water or something because she is at the course for a while. So a good husband tip, do something nice for her.
Better believe it.
All right, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thank